we begin in Israel. Let's start there, Anne-Marie, where dozens of people are dead after a stampede erupted during a popular religious festival. It happened overnight in the northern part of the country, where tens of thousands of mainly ultra-orthodox Jews gathered to celebrate a major holiday, despite warnings about potentially spreading the coronavirus. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Elizabeth Palmer is following the latest.
Here's where it happened, in a narrow walkway where a huge mass of mostly Orthodox Jews were heading for the exit. Then, in this cell phone video, you can see the makeshift walls start to buckle. Police say a few people fell down on a slippery patch, and panic did the rest. 18-year-old Shmuel saw it all. People started to get squashed, he said, and when the police didn't open up the passageway, the walls crashed and dozens were trampled to death. Apart from those who died, at least 150 people were injured, some critically. This man was trapped in the mob. There were horrible screams of, "I can't breathe," he said. And then gradually, some of the screaming stopped. The injured were taken by ambulance and helicopter to hospitals all over Israel, while police and security guards worked to control and reassure the crowds left on the site. They had been looking forward to a joyous night of bonfires and dancing at the annual Lag BaOmer celebration, where tens of thousands gather at the tomb of a second-century rabbi. Instead, they found themselves in a nightmare. This morning, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the scene of one of the worst peacetime tragedies in Israel's history.
Elizabeth Palmer is joining us now from London to talk more about the situation in Israel. You know, Liz, I know that Israel has done very well in terms of containing the coronavirus, but still, you don't want to backslide. I'm sort of surprised that so many people were gathered in one place, considering it's a pandemic. Why was that?
I think a lot of Israelis will be asking the same question. Mass gatherings are being allowed to go ahead now, sporting events and so on, because the death rates are very low in Israel. More than half the adults have now been vaccinated. But this gathering seems to have just mushroomed. There were about 5,000 police on site, and reports of them trying to turn people away as it got more and more crowded, but with limited success. And as far as in Israel, there's this system of trying to, people who have been vaccinated get a little green passport on their phone, and the police were trying to impose that on people coming to the site. There was pushback, and it just sounds as if the numbers became unmanageable. We will know in the coming days. There are going to be very serious questions asked, political questions obviously, and also questions to the security and emergency services.
Liz, give us some background on the religious event that was taking place.
It's a mystic event. It takes place in the north of Israel, in what is a wildlife refuge in the mountains near the Sea of Galilee. And traditionally, crowds of people come and pray and dance near the grave of a second-century rabbi and seer. Now, there appear to be children among the dead, and one of the reasons for that may be that one of the traditions associated with the festival is that 3-year-old boys on this occasion get their first haircut. So it's quite probable that families brought their children in order to celebrate this rite of passage for little boys. And very tragically, it looks as if some of them have died. And certainly in the chaos last night, there were panicked families who'd lost track of their kids. And it just must have been agonizing.
It really sounds so. So what has been the response from government? What's the government doing?
Well, as you saw, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the site this morning. He has said it's a terrible tragedy. They deployed massive numbers of rescue resources, if you like. You saw the helicopters and the ambulances and people for crowd control. But I think there's going to be a big political there will be political questions for the government to face at a time when it's unstable in the first place, because in effect, Israel is trying to form a new government. Neither party in the elections a few weeks ago won a majority. So this is just one more wild card. The fallout from this will be one more wild card in a very unstable political situation, and it puts Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the hot spot for sure.
It is such a horrible story, and as we've been talking, Liz and Emery, you know, just as Israel was sort of proving to be the model for containing the coronavirus, all of my friends who live in Israel, I mean, have posted on their Instagram photos of themselves, you know, having fun, gathering with family, gathering with friends, and to have this happen at this particular moment, our hearts go out to the families of those who lost their loved ones in the horrific tragedy. Liz, thank you so much as always.
Pleasure.